Good morning, everyone. We're going to be talking about homelessness this morning. The reality is that homelessness is a huge, huge discussion point. I'm sorry that we can't spend more time on it than technology is going to allow us. You will see in the Canvas shell, I have provided you with a handout to go along with our discussion today. Um, so let's jump in. Homelessness is a pervasive and growing issue in our society. It is becoming harder and harder for the average wage earner to, or even the average household, to have enough income to secure safe, affordable housing. And if there's any fluctuation in the household's employment or wage earning, um, that often throws people into homelessness. As you can see on the form that I get posted for you, we define homelessness as a situation where a person does not have a legal right to a living space. What that means is if you are an adult, which in the state of Missouri means 17 or older, and you do not have some kind of a written agreement, a lease, a renter's agreement, a mortgage, something, you're homeless. Because wherever you are staying, the people who do have, or the person who does have legal control over that living space could say at any point, get out. And there's not one thing you could do about it. Now, I am not suggesting that your parents are going to throw you out on your tin ear anytime in the near future. But what this definition does lead us to is the concept of marginally housed people. These are folks who do have some place to go to bed at night, store their clothes, etc. But it is a very tenuous situation. You've probably heard of couch surfing, and couch surfing would be the layman's term for marginally housed. These are folks who are really just at the mercy of anyone who might be generous enough to allow them to stay at their place of residence. Now, again, as you see on the handout, homelessness is really never an issue that occurs by itself. You're never going to have someone come in who says, look, I don't have any place to live, but everything else in my life is Jim Dandy. And that's because there are often a number of pre-existing conditions or situations that occur that lead to homelessness, as well as the fact that homelessness in and of itself brings all kinds of other problems, concerns, issues with it. Very quickly, as you look at your handout, the obviously the first and best way to address homelessness is through prevention, and that is to keep people from becoming homeless. That includes working to get housing up to code, helping people with bills that if they can get their utilities paid, then they have enough money to pay their rent. If they can help get food with groceries, then they can make their mortgage. Um, there's a lot of things that can be done before a person becomes homeless or a family becomes homeless. Let me go ahead and say this right now. Um, there's very little resources put into these kind of diversion programs to keep people from becoming homeless. Part of the reason is that it is often in a developer or a municipality uh, or even a bank's uh, best interest that the person lose their housing so that either a new loan can be issued to another borrower, or in some cases, and we've seen this numerous times, a municipality works with a developer, with a landowner, to allow buildings to fall into disrepair, go below code, If people are evicted, then they can just tear the places down and build up, a shopping mall or a high-end um, restaurant, apartment building, etc. Um, I'm going to go ahead and stop this video now. There'll be another one to follow. Keep your fingers crossed that I'll actually be able to figure out how to make this stop.